Welcome to This Week in Palm Bay. I'm Rosie.
And I'm Buzz. We begin with the Palm Bay City Council's recent decisions, starting with the vote on property taxes. The City Council voted 4-1 to set the tentative ad valorem property tax millage rate for the upcoming fiscal year at 6.6 mils, a decrease from the current rate of 6.7 mils.
While the tax rate is slightly lower, property owners will likely see flat tax bills because home valuations have increased. Due to rising valuations, the lower rate is expected to generate approximately the same amount of property tax revenue as last year. Council members also voiced concerns over a proposed state constitutional amendment on the November ballot that could restrict municipal revenues and impact future services.
Mayor Rob Medina cast a lone dissenting vote, arguing that the city should set a higher tentative rate to prepare for storms and unexpected emergencies. Under Florida municipal rules, the tentative rate sets the maximum cap. It can be lowered during the budget process, but cannot be raised.
The council also approved on first reading Ordinance 2026-20. The ordinance places a charter amendment referendum on the November 3rd general election ballot. If approved by voters, the amendment will require a special election to fill any city council vacancy with more than 1 year remaining on the unexpired term, removing the council's authority to appoint temporary replacements.
Palm Bay resident Bill Batten spoke in support of the referendum during public comments. He noted that the change is an improvement over the current appointment process, though he preferred a 6-month vacancy threshold. The ordinance requires a second reading at a subsequent meeting to finalize its placement on the ballot.
In infrastructure decisions, the council awarded a $3.19 million contract to All Webs Enterprises for drilling new water production wells. The project will expand groundwater capacity at the city's water treatment plants to support service demands.
The council also voted 4-1 to restore the end-of-meeting public comment session, a reversal of a previous policy that restricted comments to specific agenda items.
Turning to local elections, City Clerk Terry Leffler issued the official notice of the municipal primary election for City Council seats 4 and 5, scheduled for August 18, 2026.
In public safety news, the Palm Bay Police Department and Palm Bay Fire Rescue faced off in their annual charity basketball game on Friday, July 17th at Heritage High School, raising funds for local community youth programs.
The police department's use of automatic license plate readers faced public opposition at the July 16th council meeting. Resident Sheena Wallace argued that the flock safety cameras track citizen movements without warrants, which could expose the city to legal liability.
City Attorney Patricia Smith clarified that neither the U.S. Supreme Court nor the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals has ruled license plate readers unconstitutional, noting that surveillance case law continues to evolve. Councilman Kenny Johnson added that the council is reviewing operational policies and boundaries for the license plate reader program with the chief of police.
Physical safety concerns were also raised by resident Parker Allen, who pointed out that flock safety drawings specify crash-worthy, slip-base hardware to prevent poles from shearing through vehicles during collisions. Allen contended that the local poles are installed behind guardrails without this safety hardware.
Moving to local business, the 50-year-old Publix supermarket on Babcock Street permanently closed its doors on July 11th. The site will undergo complete demolition to make way for a rebuilt modern store.
In education finance, successor trustee UMB Bank has entered a default restructuring agreement for $14.8 million in municipal bond debt. The school has struggled with declining enrollment, which dropped to 323 students this year.
Successor trustee UMB Bank negotiated a settlement to sell the mortgage interest in the school facilities for $4.93 million in cash to satisfy senior creditors. Subordinate bondholders representing $6.64 million in debt were wiped out, receiving exactly $1 per series. The school remains open under the management of Director Madhu Langani and Director of Operations Marilyn Kinsel.
In development expansion continues in the Northwest Corridor. The City Council approved the master plan for Everlands West, a 2,360-home residential development proposed by Lennar Homes on nearly 1,200 acres.
Business networking is also rising. The Orlando Business Journal ranked the Greater Palm Bay Chamber of Commerce as the fastest-growing chamber in Central Florida, citing a 66.18% revenue surge.
Finally, commercial filings in the city's permit portal show site plan applications for a new commercial car wash at St. John's Heritage Parkway and Emerson Drive, and a new storage facility on Kirby Lane. We now look at the week ahead in Palm Bay, beginning with election deadlines. The deadline for residents to register to vote in the August 18th municipal primary elections is Monday, July 20th, 2026.
Registration is required to participate in the primary, which features City Council Seat 4 and Seat 5 on the ballot. Residents can register online or at designated county offices.
In school district updates, the Brevard Public Schools Board postponed public workshops on student conduct and cell phone search policies to late August to allow for additional reviews.
Turning to community events, the Greater Palm Bay Senior Activity Center, located at 1275 Culver Drive, NE, will host its annual Christmas in July vendor fair on Sunday, July 26th, starting at 11 a.m.
The Senior Activity Center also continues to host its weekly public bingo programs. Wednesday bingo starts at 11:30 a.m. and Friday night bingo begins at 6 p.m., both open to the public ages 18 and older.
Business events are also scheduled. The Greater Palm Bay Chamber of Commerce will host its monthly Space Coast Area Technology and Innovation Breakfast on Thursday, July 23rd from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. at 2495 Palm Bay Road, NE.
The breakfast features guest speaker Colonel Eric Zarybnitsky discussing the Space Force's human capital mission. The Chamber also celebrated the grand opening of Club Pilates Palm Bay with a ribbon-cutting ceremony on Friday, July 17th.
Weekly programs are also active at the local public libraries. The Franklin T. DeGroot Memorial Library on Minton Road is hosting Family Storytime on Monday at 10 a.m., Nintendo Switch Gaming on Monday at 3 p.m., and Drop-In Art Lab on Tuesday at 3 p.m.
The DeGroot Library also hosts Giggles and Wiggles music on Wednesday at 10 a.m., scavenger hunts on Friday, and creative projects on Saturday morning. The Palm Bay Public Library on Port Malabar Boulevard is hosting toddler and preschooler playdates on Monday and Tuesday, and an introduction to Dungeons & Dragons on Wednesday at 6:15 p.m.
Recreation activities are also scheduled. The Ted Whitlock Community Center and Tony Rosa Community Center are hosting daily summer fun camp sessions and open volleyball programs. Residents should note that Driscoll Park remains closed for renovations, and Liberty Park has limited access due to construction.
In traffic advisories, the Public Works Department announced a temporary lane closure and flagging operation for asphalt patching on Cogan Drive and San Filippo Drive. The closure runs from Thursday, July 23rd at 9 a.m. through Friday, July 24th at 3:30 p.m.
Finally, the Utilities Department is transitioning stormwater and solid waste service accounts to monthly billing, with the first monthly statement scheduled to mail on July 23rd.
That is This Week in Palm Bay. Read the full reports on the Palm Bear website and subscribe to receive updates directly. I'm Rosie.
And I'm Buzz. Thank you for listening.